Hello beloved consumers, thank you for joining me for Uniconfessions. My name is Utaqaan, and today I am going to teach you how to do magic. So what is magic? Magic is simply the unseen. It's the layers upon layers of reality that are piled upon our understanding of reality. We have, for the last several hundred years, pretty much only appreciated in our larger society the very physical, tangible realities that exist. The very hands-on 3D, I can do this with my hands, I can achieve this result, I can put this with this and I can see this result. But as we go further and further along our scientific endeavors, we're starting to see, as we get to quantum mechanics and quantum understandings, that things are starting to kind of fall apart with that understanding as the fundamental basis for our reality. And so consciousness actually creates reality rather than 3D reality creating consciousness. We don't have to go into that, but it really does set us up to start to understand why magic is so powerful and how you, no matter who you are, can use this power of magic to have the best possible reality and the best possible life. Magic is a pretty simple formula. It starts with faith or belief, then you add in ritual, you can sometimes have invocation, and then there's also intent. The importance of faith in magic cannot be undermined. When I say the word faith, you probably get images of religion, and religion is magic. When you are practicing in a religion, you are practicing magic. Spirituality is magic. All spirituality is different ways to express our magical spiritual selves to the magical spiritual everything. So no matter what you gravitate towards, no matter what type of expression you feel drawn to, spiritually or magically, that is what you should pursue. There is no right way to do magic. There is no right way to do spells. There is no right way to do prayer. It's all up to you and your own personal relationship with something higher and the unseen. So the first thing is faith, is belief. When you go into a prayer, let's say, that's a simple example, and you don't believe that your prayer is going to be reaching anyone, it's not going to actually do anything if you just think you're doing it for a perfunctory reason. But when you have belief behind that prayer, you will feel better about your situation, and perhaps things will start to work on these other higher energetic levels, and because the being that you have invoked may help you do that. So belief is so important, and faith. As you explore your spirituality, as you explore magic, let yourself play, let your mind go, and let yourself explore the different ideas, and don't chastise yourself for the different kind of things that you want to believe are true. You can believe any kind of structure that you want to believe is true for these magical explorations. The next step is ritual, and ritual is just a repetitive thought or action that you do in order to evoke a certain mood or result. So a ritual can be praying every night, it can be lighting a candle every new moon, it can be whispering certain words to yourself as an affirmation in the mirror. It can be any of these things. A ritual is any repetitive action. It can be flossing your teeth, brushing your hair. When you put magical intent into that action and you say, every time I brush my hair, I'm manifesting new friends, you know, that works. And you believe that as you're doing the ritual, and you then create a very powerful piece of magic that goes deep into yourself and emanates out from you. The third thing is invocation. Invocations, I was really afraid of invocations when I first started doing magic, and I refused to even invoke the cardinal directions. So I think that this will help you to realize that even when you pray to your God or anyone, that is invoking a certain deity. When you believe in a deity and you talk to it and you ask it to help you, that's invoking that deity. Your intention and your energy really set the goal for which kinds of beings are going to be interacting with you. If you have a really dark mood, a really dark energy, and you want to be spreading harm, you're going to attract a lot of really harmful beings to you. But if you have the best positive opinions and the best heart and the best intention to do good for all, then you will start attracting some of the highest level beings that exist to assist you in your magical endeavors. If you are still nervous about invoking different creatures or different beings, different fairy beings, check out Jeremy Garner's Guide to Fairyland. It's an amazing introduction to the land of fairyland, which exists in this dimension, in this reality on Earth, that you can tap into from your 3D body and from this reality. And you can start to make friends with fairy beings who can then assist you in magical ways. There's also danger. They can trick you. They can be mean to you. It's just like working with any person. So when you think of invocation, think of it just like working with any other person. You're not just gonna go out to a street and be like, okay, who wants to work with me? Who wants to work with me? And just like take the first person who like comes up, right? You're gonna set your intention, you're gonna set your parameters of what you want to experience and what you want to interact with and what you want to gain from the exchange and what you can give back to them as well. And when you do that and you treat it like an actual relationship, you know, then it's going to be much stronger and much better and more beneficial to you because you've set that intention, you've set those boundaries up. So the way that I started finally invoking different beings, well, first of all, is pets. Pets are here to teach us how to collaborate, how to work kindly with other beings in our dimension. And like your relationship with your pet is a great example for how your relationship can be. I think a lot of us feel like we get more from our pets than we even give back, right? So when you are just in that gratitude state and you do everything you can for another being and they do everything they can for you and you set your intention to work with only the highest possible beings who will do the best for you and everyone, then you're going to be pretty much safe from any kind of demonic entities. Necessarily about being a witch, it's not necessarily about being religious. Magic and spirituality are inextricably the same thing. They're working on the realms of the unseen, and the framework for it is simply to have intention. Intention is what you believe the world will reflect back at you. It's almost like a scientific hypothesis. So you say, I intend to make new friends as you're brushing your hair, and then that intention goes deep into you and also emanates throughout the world on a larger scale, and other people feel it and they see it and they respond to it, and that's how it's created in the third dimension. So magic can make things happen not only on the levels of the unseen, but as we hope, they can make things happen in the third dimensional reality as well. Now I know probably a lot of you are thinking, oh, what about evil magic? What about black magic? What about dark evil magic? And I've heard of like these possessions and witches taking people's like souls and all this stuff, and love spells and things like that. Obviously, it's not going to be very useful for you to try and control another person's behavior. That is true already. You know that already, right? It's not like magic has these like new rules of reality that don't exist anywhere else. This world is a reflection of the magical reality as well. So if you're walking around trying to control people, first of all, how are you going to feel? You're going to feel like crap. Second of all, you're not going to be very successful, and if you are, it's because you're a terrible person. So don't try to control people because it's just going to rot your own soul and make you feel miserable. What is black magic? I think it's really important to address this because a lot of people are really afraid of black magic. And they want to know, you know, have I ever practiced black magic and stuff like that? And I haven't, because it's boring. Black magic is boring. And the reason why it's boring is because you already know how to do it. It's not anything extraordinary, and it's not anything like sparkling or awesome. The root of all black magic is deception. So anyone who is, whenever you lie, whenever you cheat, whenever you're deceiving somebody, whenever you're sneaking around, whenever you're not being authentic, that is black magic. And it's boring. You can do stuff with it, but why would you? You can do so much more with positive intention. A lot of times the way we see our world, the way that our world is structured, is that we feel like the only way we can accomplish something is to take from somebody else, or to trick someone else, or to climb on top of somebody else to get to the top. But that's not true. That's a really weird fundamental misunderstanding of how wealth can spread, true wealth. And how true wealth spreads is through self-empowerment and empowering others. Generosity is actually the key. So when people have kind of a hoarding mentality, that actually creates starvation. And when you have a generous personality or a generous outpouring that actually creates more wealth for us all, and you included. True wealth is more than money. True wealth is being connected to everyone and feeling the health of the collective and feeling the health of the earth. So when you can start to see that the health of the earth and the health of the collective is directly tied to your health, you'll see that black magic and dark energy and dark magic work isn't really even worth pursuing in any regard whatsoever. And the fact that it's even been practiced for so long is weird and really non-intuitive. And the last thing I'll tell you is something that took me years to learn, and it's that the most powerful magic isn't in these occasional violent bursts of energy. That is generally what we think of. We think of a witch with the wind swirling around and she's got a cauldron and she's putting things into it and she's cackling at the sky. That can achieve things, sure. But the most powerful magic that you can do is to release consistent, subtle energy constantly. So in your day-to-day life, the more joyous you can be, the more happy and well-wishing. When you wish someone well, that is magic. When you have joy in your heart, that is magic. When you are on the path to joy and you are working on these realms of emotion and you are beaming that positive energy, that is magic. So when you do that on your day-to-day basis and you just, when you manage your thinking and you take it away from negative and move it into positive, and you manage your mind and you take it away from worryful thought and you let it go into the imaginative realms, this is all magic. And so as you go through your day-to-day life and you practice these things, that is honestly the most powerful magic that you can do. It's the most reality shifting, it's the most earth shifting, it's the most intense, creative, possible energy that you can have. Thank you so much. Remember to subscribe, check out Jeremy Garner's Guide to Fairyland course on his channel, and have fun exploring these different realms of the unseen and producing results with your mind. Uni bless.